Gospel for Unreached. Our mission is to spread the good news to the whole world through the internet. Jesus commissioned his disciples to go into all the world and preach the good news to all creation. Mark 16:15. Come, let us join our hands and hearts to reach the lost and tell them the love of Jesus. Therefore, go and make disciples to all nations. Life-changing sermons in several languages, CD, DVD, MP3, and Bible tracts are available free of cost. And if you would like to learn more and get involved with our ministry or sponsor a missionary orphan, please feel free to contact us by email at gospelunreached@yahoo.com or call us at 310-408-2823. Your comments and suggestions are very valuable to our ministry. We enjoy hearing from our visitors. Thanks for visiting. Please come back and visit us soon. May the Lord richly bless you. Thank you.
I have to leave at any cost by around 6:55 to the airport, and I have a flight at 8:30 as such. So the goal is to finish by around 6:30 so that I can fellowship a little bit and say hello to you and then move on as such. This is my very last trip to the United States of America. I've been traveling for about 13 years and I'm going to retire this year. I'll be 39 on 6th of August, so another 4 days. And then I think 39 is a good age to retire if you do well in life, Otherwise you'll be working till you're 99 as such. So that's the difference I see between India and in the United States of America. Is here I see people working and working and working and working till they die. Whereas in India they plan in such a way that once you retire, you have enough to sustain your journey, as well as your children become a blessing in such. I'm going to share 3 songs, 2 on the guitar and 1 on the pan flute this evening as such. Since I see a lot of young people, and this is really wonderful, the day we live in, when I travel around the world, the sad part is that young people are diminishing in the church. 2 reasons. One is they have no more interest in God, and secondly, the church is no more relevant towards the young people too. And like sometimes the best sleep I get is when I'm in the church. You can sleep so well because, I don't know, either the sermon is so boring or the voice of the preacher is so monotonous that puts you to sleep as such. But I grew up in a Christian family, just like some of you. But I went to church because don't worry about the video, please. Just take it off, yeah. And I went to church because if I did not go to church, then I will not have my lunch. Or if I did not go for my evening prayers as a family, then I would not have my dinner. So some of us, we have come from a background like that, where for us being a Christian meant something to do with a condition that was placed at your home or such. So I grew up in a situation like that. And for me, God was such a place where, it was irritating to know about God. God was not a friend. God could never be my friend. And if someone said that God is like your father, that's the last God I want to follow. Because my father was such a strict dictator at home. And he's an aerospace scientist. He designs aeroplanes. He's a very, very smart father. But I could not keep up to his expectations. It was really tough. We had to get up at 4:45 in the morning every day to study. And getting up at 4:45 to play basketball is different from getting up at 4:45 to study mathematics or something like that. This was my life, that everything I was forced to do, which I was really not created as such for that. And I was pressured and pressured and pressured. And the pressure forced me to become a rebellious child. And forced me to copying in exams, forced me to forging signatures. This is what I became. When you are under that pressure, you tend to become like that. And young people, you have to be careful, especially the ones from the Korean background. We faced a similar challenge from the Indian one, where it's almost that, you become the image of your family. And what they could not achieve, they want you to achieve so that they can get the joy of what they could not achieve as such. And this is what I became when I grew up, is that every day I was called useless and worthless. I was compared to my younger brother and 3 sisters. And being the firstborn, I had to be the role model of my family. I had to become the scientist that my father wanted me to become. And I became the shame of my family. I became the curse of my family. I was thrown out of the school. And, it was just a tough place. And if someone of you here, you're going through that battle and that challenge back home and at school, I want to tell you, I've been through that and I was there. It's really tough. Sometimes the expectations that family have is completely unrealistic. Many times the expectations are not based on our potential, but it is based on what the society thinks. Just because my neighbor can draw good pictures doesn't mean that I can also draw good pictures. But my parents could not understand. They said, how come when house number 33, she can draw well, why can't you draw well being from house number 23? What's wrong with you? This is how they compared. But I'll tell you, God created each one of us in such an amazing, unique way that each one of you are special on your own. You don't have to become like somebody else. As soon as you have your own identity, that is when you really are content. No matter how you try to become like somebody else, you will never be content. And these things really don't last for a long time. Like recently I was standing in Moscow and I was going to take the train. Of course, in Moscow everything is in Russian. So I asked this girl who was in front of me, is this the train that takes me to the airport? And she said yes. And when she said yes in English, so I started to talk a little bit. And then I found out that she's from Bangalore, from where I grew up. And then when I asked her, what was your area? She was just 1 mile from my house. It was amazing that you are standing in a random place and you find someone. Then as we sat down and we started to talk and talk and talk, then I found out that she said in 1992 she was Miss India. But in my mind, I was thinking, no way you can be Miss India. Because she was nothing like Miss India now as such. But when I went back and I researched things on the internet, then truly she was Miss India. And of course she looked very different when she was Miss India. But now her life is completely messed up, and she doesn't know what to do. And I look back, for her image and identity was to be Miss India. She did. But then after 1 year, you have to give back your crown. You're over. It's finished. Many times we try to fill our lives based on that aspect, which doesn't last for a long time. We have different crowns, different things that we bear, and for 1 year you are the star, but after that you're gone. Today a lot of young people come to me and say, Benny, I'm 18 and I'm 19 and this boy really likes me, this girl really likes me. And this is the number one subject 18 and 19-year-olds come and talk to me, is about relationships. And they are under so much pressure because so much of attention comes so quickly. And they don't know what to do. And I'll tell you, my friends, 18 and 19, nobody is serious with that relationship. You might be the cutest girl, I'll tell you, the guy might look at you and praise you till another girl comes who is a little more cuter than you. Then you're out, you're gone. Relationships at 18 and 19 is so quickly it happens and so quick it goes away. So I tell people what I did when I was 19. At 19 I was in the Bible college. And I grew up in a culture where boys sat on the left and girls sat on the right. This was even in school. And the worst punishment I had at school was my teacher would make me sit in between 2 girls. And that was the worst punishment. That's the only time I would tell the teacher, I'm sorry. And, sorry for everything actually. But when I joined the Bible college, for the first time, a beautiful young girl comes to me and she said she likes me and she really wants to marry me, and so on and so forth. And I was so shocked because I did not grow up in that culture. And I was just silent. And she thought might be this guy doesn't know how to talk. So she thought I was good in writing, so she gave me a book to express my thoughts about her. And these are the words I wrote to her as a 19-year-old boy. I told her, if you fall in a river, there is a boat. If you fall in a well, there is a rope. But if you fall in love, there is no hope. And honestly, when you're 18 or 19, there is no hope when you fall in love, truly. Because that is not the age for you to plan a family. And most of the time you end up broken, but you want to learn brokenness. You don't need to fall in love to know how to be broken as such. At the right time, you will find the right ways as such. But I want to tell you, young boys and girls, your life is far greater than just trying to understand what it means to be in a broken relationship. Your life is far more precious than just trying to fulfill somebody else's expectation. You are created in the image of God. No matter, I'll tell you, with our hair, I had to color my hair. I'm not into coloring, but I was forced to color my hair in Dubai recently because this salon just opened up and they did not find some celebrity, and so they found me somewhere and then they asked me, can we dye your hair because we need to promote our salon as such. So that's how I was forced into that. But I'll tell you, no matter what color you put for your hair, everybody has an opinion. No matter how good the color can be, they'll always come and say, a little more darker looks nice, a little more lighter, you should change to something else. But as soon as someone says, is this your natural hair? And if you say yes, that's it. Nobody questions. Nobody says anything more than your natural hair. But as soon as you try to add something else to your life, then you see that things change. People always have an opinion. So you have to be thankful to God for the way He created. Like my voice. My voice is a feminine voice. On the phone, automatically people call me madam. It is just common. Anything I take the phone, they'll say ma'am. And I got used to that, I got used to that. And sometimes I order things on the phone, and by the time I reach the shop, and I said, yes, I'd ordered. They said, no, you didn't order. When I told them these are the things, yes, the lady ordered. But the guy refuses to believe. So I have to go outside somewhere else, call him again, and I'll tell a boy with long hair is going to come and pick up the goods. And so I come back and I pick up the same goods, and I'm the same person, but I have to talk as somebody. But I'll tell you, people will come and tell me so many things. You have to do this therapy, you have to do this and this. But as soon as I'm thankful to God with the voice that He has given me, it changes everything else. I don't have to pretend to have a low voice or high voice or something. As soon as I'm thankful to God that God created me intentionally with a voice like this, that's it. It changes everything. People can laugh, people might not laugh, doesn't matter. But having a feminine voice for a guy is better than having no voice at all. No, so you have to really be thankful to God for the way He created you, just like the way you are. Whether it's your straight hair, your curly hair, whether you have hair or you don't have hair, doesn't matter. I'll tell you, if you are not content with the way you are created, you will never be happy, no matter what you wear, no matter what style, no matter what brand it is. Things get outdated so quickly till you are content with the way you are. But this was my life. I led a life with no purpose. And I was beaten quite badly. There were times I was hospitalized because my father would get so angry that I could not keep up to his expectations. I would come back home, and again he would look at my mark sheet, and it was so pathetic that he would beat me up. He was not a cruel father, but that is what he learned from his father. It was tough life, to the point I just lost the purpose to live in this world. And I was born with asthma, and from the age of 2 till the age of 16, I was on wrong medication. Because of that, 60% of my lungs got damaged, and my immune system broke down. And I developed rheumatoid arthritis. And at 16, the doctors gave me 6 months to live. And I had no desire to live with 6 months in hand. What do you do when you're 16? Everybody is planning their future. People want to do this and that. And here, doctors give me 6 months to live. Of course, it was the mistake of the doctors, but doesn't matter whom you blame, doesn't matter how many excuses you have, but that is not going to change things. And at 16, at the lowest point of my life is when I contemplated to commit suicide. I want to tell you, young ones, no matter how difficult life gets, suicide is never the answer to our problems. Suicide is never the solution to any condition that you go through as such, because your life is far greater than any expectations that this world can ever have. And at the lowest point is when I had an encounter with Jesus Christ. I heard the voice of Jesus Christ when I went to a youth camp. He spoke to me and he says, Benny, even though you are called useless, I still need you. I can transform your life and make you a new person. And I said, God, why do you need me when I have nothing to offer? I have nothing to present. I can't be any good. I have no talents. I went for music lessons when I was 15. And on the first day, the guitar teacher told me, don't come back anymore. He said, you have no qualities of music. I was bad in studies, bad in my health, bad in everything. And yet Jesus says, I still desire to have a relationship with you. Might be some of you are sitting here. You have been compared to somebody else, your own siblings. Might be coming to the church. You have been compared to somebody else here. And I'll tell you, you might be doing everything to fill yourself to find that importance. And at a point you have come saying, I have nothing else to live for. I want to tell you that the way Jesus looks at you is very different from the way the world looks at you as such. It's very important for you to understand what God thinks about you. And I gave my life to Jesus. He transformed me and made me this new person. And I tell you, at 16, when I started off my life, I started fresh, nothing, empty-handed I started. The first thing God blessed me was with talent, with music. I picked up an old broken guitar, I collected broken strings, tied them together and put them on the guitar. Because in those days I only had 10 cents a month. That's all I had. But I'll tell you, life does not start with abundance. And life does not start with excuses. But life starts with what can you do with what you already have. No point of saying, if I had this, if I had that. What is the point of saying, if I had that? It's meaningless. And if I had a rocket, I would go to the moon. What meaningless dream to have such things. If makes nothing. But what you have now is what defines things. So what I had was, I had a broken guitar. And people broke strings, so I collected those things, tied them together, and put them on the guitar. There was one sheet of chords. I practiced every day for 7 hours. I did my studies, and then I did my practice of music. My bedtime was 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. But I worked hard, and in 2 months' time, I went and performed at the talent night in my Bible college. And that's where God helped me to exhibit my talent, and I became the best guitarist in my Bible college. And I want to tell you, my friends, don't ever give up just because somebody says that you can never do it. Always remember that what God thinks of you is far important and greater than what the world thinks. And the piece that I'm going to start this evening is the piece that I played at the Olympic Games in Greece in 2004. And this was the piece that I played. The whole thing was that they told me, you cannot share your testimony. We just want your music at the Olympic Games. Now, when Jesus has done so much in my life, I cannot keep it secret. No way. How can you keep this good news secret where you're supposed to die? And now, in 3 days' time, I will be 39, which I've already surpassed the expiry date that the doctors had put on my life. I cannot. And that's when I prayed to Jesus that He will help me to design a guitar the world has never seen, so that this guitar will attract the athletes, will attract the audiences to come, look at the guitar and ask me questions. And in turn, I could share my testimony back to them. And I want to tell you, young ones, this is the age for you to really be bold and strong to defend who Christ is in your life. This is not the age for you to hide your Christianity. Ask God for an idea. Be creative. I know you might be the smallest person in your class, but I'll tell you, the Bible says, greater is He who is in us than he who is in the world. So if you have that greatness of Jesus in you, you are stronger than everything else. So for me, even though I was singled out as a musician, but God gave me the grace to design this guitar. And till today, it's the world's first and only guitar with drums inside. Jesus can do that with my life. I'll tell you, I am the least talented of anyone in this room, honestly. I'm not trying to be a humble person. It is a reality. But if God could take a person like me to design a guitar like this, He can do an amazing thing in each one of your lives as such. So enjoy this piece, My Jesus, My Savior, Lord, there is none like you. So I hope I will be able to finish the second piece too. And see, we all have dreams in life, but I'll tell you, many times we face our dreams based on our bank balance, based on our talents, based on our education, based on what others think. But I'll tell you, the most important thing, you at the age where you are at, is to go back to Jesus and ask, Jesus, what is your dream for my life?